Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Hurricane Watchman is here with your latest update on the tropics. So today, first of all, we're going to start off by talking about Tropical Storm Wanda, which is still just meandering. Here's the latest satellite imagery of Tropical Storm Wanda. She is just sitting out there meandering, not doing a whole lot. Really kind of gives me same vibe that we saw with Tropical Cyclone Ionos, or Janos, I don't know if it's Ionos or Janos, in September of 2020, in the Mediterranean. Very, 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 very generally compact, very round, not very sprawled out at all. Very, very compact, and very round with an eye-like feature. Reminds me of Tropical Storm Ionos. It reminds me of that. So, but yeah, that is the system. It is not a hurricane. Ionos was a hurricane with probably about 80, 85 mile an hour winds, maybe 90. Other people were saying it had winds of 100 miles an hour, and gusts of almost Category 4 intensity. I think the strongest gust was 121 miles per hour. Not really almost. It was Category 3 wind gusts. That's what we're looking at with this storm right here. 150 mile per hour sustained winds. So that's what we're looking at right there. That's what the storm is doing right now. It is not expected to impact land at all. Maybe some swells approaching the Azores. I'm going to be talking about that right now too, because this is probably going to be producing some swells for sure. Because the Azores are, I mean, it's still pretty far away from the Azores. It's supposed to get even closer to the Azores coming here in the future. So let me just show you where the Azores are at. So they're way out here. So it's gonna go north, then it's gonna come back south, and then it's gonna kind of take this. It's gonna miss the Azores. So as the storm gets closer, there's certainly the chance that the Azores could get some definitely rain. You can kind of see some convection just to the south of the Azores, right over there. Right there, you can kind of see some of that convection right there. So some heavy rain probably approaching the Azores right now. But as this gets closer, the waves are going to become much choppier. So I don't think people are out in the beaches right now in the region of the Azores. It's much colder up there. But in case you are visiting the beach, we think you should stay at home, stay inside. Or at least not stay inside, but not go out to the beach, because the waves are going to be pretty choppy, and the rip currents are definitely going to be a problem along the coast of the Azores. Lots of heavy rain is expected, possibly some flooding, maybe, depends on how close it gets, but by that time it's probably be an extratropical low. Regardless, still expecting to produce probably, they may see 35 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts. I do not expect them to see tropical storm force winds. However, we will continue to talk about this system as it gets closer to the Azores and any kind of tropical. I'm going to show you the track and the storm in relation to the Azores according to the track. So I'm going to talk about that and look at that right now. Talk about the track, because the track is certainly a little worrisome, a little bit. So again, it does get relatively closer to the Azores, especially this island right here. There's an island right here, ladies and gentlemen. Right here, right in that cone. So they could see wind gusts of up to over 40 miles per hour. And so tropical storm force wind gusts are possible. But this will be an extratropical low. The British Isles, Ireland, Northern Ireland, England, and Scotland, and Wales should be all in the clear. Maybe some rain. We will talk about that later. This will not be like we saw, was it 2020? Yeah, 2020, the tropical system made its way. And also, no, 2017, Ophelia, I want to say it was in 2017, correct me if I'm wrong. Tropical storm Ophelia made its way and brought tropical storm conditions and hurricane conditions to the islands, to the British Isles. So this will not be the same thing. We will not be seeing tropical storm conditions or hurricane conditions like that in the British Isles. But we'll continue to monitor this. Looks like it's gonna kind of come in this direction anyway. So it shouldn't miss y'all. Regardless, the remnants of whatever is there will just bring some heavy rain, and that's it. It's not gonna be a very, very strong cyclone at all, in my opinion. But yeah. So this is where it's at right now. It's going to go north, then it's going to come back down south, and then it's going to take this track, and by that time it's going to be an extratropical low. That jet stream will pull it through and take it up north, and so it's going to be a massive storm once it gets up there. It should be shredded apart by that jet stream in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and will completely tear and rip this system apart. So that will be the story for Tropical Cyclone Wanda. Do we have any comments, questions, or concerns? Hello everyone, how are y'all doing? I hope y'all are doing good. I think this is I think this is his friend. So, that's what we're looking at with this system. So it's going to go north, back south, and then it's going to come here. So we got to watch the, more or less, the western Azores, which could certainly be affected by this tropical system. The possibility for that. I also want to take a look at the forecast models. I'm going to see if the Azores has a meteorological agency, or if it's a territory of a country, another country. I don't know 100% off the top of my head, but certainly right here, the Azores are right here. I kind of want to talk about that. As you can see, it comes south because there's this high pressure along the jet stream, 1026 millibars, so it brings that south. Then it comes back north because there is a gap between this area of high pressure and this area of high pressure over here. And tropical cyclones take the area of least resistance. And this is the area of least resistance when these are where it's right in between the 1033 millibar ridge of high pressure, which is just off to the northwest of Spain, to the northwest of Portugal, also right here, up to the northeast of the Azores. So watching this system, and then you can kind of see it does get relatively close. I mean, we'll have to see what this storm does, but you can kind of see it gets absorbed into this upper level low here, and the remnants of it do go over. These are literally the remnants. It's green right here is the remnants of it. It does go right over the but it won't be like a lot of rain. It won't be anything flooding. But that will be it for that tropical system. However, we do have a potential for another tropical system developing right there. We'll have to watch. That could be our first storm of our next naming list. So if this happens, this will be, our first storm of another naming list. If we didn't have this naming list, this would be the equivalent of Tropical Storm Alpha. This is over 300 hours out. It is more than likely not going to happen, but still very, very interesting to see it out there. According to this, it's very compact, very tight LLC, very low level circulation, very compact cyclone. So that's what we're looking at with that system. I don't think it's going to be anything super dangerous to the country and the region of the Azores, and I should probably stop yelling before I break people's eardrums. So that's what we're looking at with this right now. In the East Pacific, I kind of want to talk about because there's the possibility of the systems developing into something tropical. As you can see, it does actually become a relatively strong system, very, very compact, pretty strong winds, maybe some rip currents along the coastlines of Mexico. Then it just falls apart and will not make any kind of impacts directly towards the Baja California Peninsula. So that's what we're looking at with that one. I do want to go to the National Hurricane Center. So again, here is Wanda right here, 50 mile per hour. Sustained winds, 992 millibars is the air pressure. Again, the lower that air pressure is, the stronger the storm. When one thing comes down, another thing. When something goes up, something must come down. As the winds go up, the air pressure must come down. It's currently located at 38.8 degrees north, 39.8 degrees west. That's almost perfectly north and west, if you know what I mean. And moving north-northeast at about 9 knots, or about 10 miles per hour. There are no areas of concern in the next 5 days. However, we do have a few systems we have in concern. This does have a 70% chance of development. So there's that system. I do want to talk about this. I want to actually see. I don't remember the name that they've given it. I don't know which E. I know it's an E, but I don't know if it's 90E, 91E, 92.3, or what. I don't remember. I want to say 73E. Maybe it's 94E, whatever. But again, this is the area of cluster storms and thunderstorms out that we are watching. It has a chance of development in the next, as a 70% chance of development in the next 2 days, but a 90% chance of tropical development in the next 5 days. So I'll be talking about this. Again, heavy rain for the areas of Costa Rica, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala right here. Belize is right over here. This is Mexico. So I'll be closely monitoring the system in the next several days, as it could potentially become a tropical depression in the next 48 hours. If you hear any kind of rain or thunder in the background, there is a cold front moving through the Houston area right now, and so there's a chance you might hear some thunder, or you won't see any lightning, but maybe you'll see on the reflection of my face. I don't know. If the stream abruptly ends, power went out. So again, I just want to give you all that warning. There shouldn't be anything like that But I was looking at the news, and there are a few cells that are bringing about half an inch of hail to areas northwest of me. That was about an hour ago, about 12 p.m. Central Time. So just want to give you that heads up if the stream just abruptly ends up power went out, because I am connected to the internet. Anyway, that's it for that, so you have an idea of in case anything happens. So this is that tropical system we are watching right here. Again, it does have the chance, and it could become as low as a 959 millibar tropical cyclone. It will bring some heavy rain. It is bringing heavy rain to the Central America, but it'll also bring some rip currents to the coast of Mexico as this storm really intensifies. It gets much bigger and sends out those swells towards the coast of Mexico. Again, those swells are very, very dangerous and can lead to, can cause rip currents and can even kill people. Getting caught in a rip current is very dangerous. It literally pulls your body underneath the water and you can drown. It is very, very dangerous. So that's why you hear it on the news so much. Do not be out on the beaches if there is a tropical system. Even if it's 1,000 or hundreds, 700 miles away, it can still produce rip currents. Because, I mean, when Hurricane Grace was coming through the southern coast of the Bay of Campeche, I couldn't go to the beach. I was like, maybe I should go to the beach, but I couldn't because the rip currents were, even though that's hundreds of miles to my south, it was still producing really dangerous rip currents. The tides were pretty high, and so that was, it was pretty insane. I was like, maybe I should go to the beach, but I couldn't because the rip currents from Hurricane Grace, it was 125 mile per hour hurricane when it made landfall down there, down there in Mexico. So it was very, very incredible. So this is that system that we are watching. We are also watching this other system. It also has a chance of development. Only about a 10% chance in the next 48 hours. And about a 40% chance in the next 5 days. So it is a system that we are closely monitoring. It's hard for me to say. It's Invest 93E right there off the coast of Mexico. This is currently how it looks. Lots of convection as you can clearly... Oh. I thought that was the eye. I was like, is it have an eye? No. I'm seeing things. But that's currently what we're looking at here. I want to say this is Panama right here. This is Costa Rica. I can never remember. Is this Costa Rica or is this Panama? I can never ever remember. I'm gonna say this is Panama. This is Costa Rica. This is Nicaragua. This is Honduras. This is El Salvador. Anyway, that's what we're looking at with that system. Let's take a look at it a little bit better, high resolution. So it is a large area of cluster of thunderstorms. It is rotating. You can clearly see lots of intense convection there. Very, very high altitude cloud tops, as you can clearly see right here. So this storm is really going through a lot of convection. It's getting a lot stronger. Deep upwelling and convection. Upwelling meaning kind of moving upwelling of convection near the LLC, the low-level circulation, is a sign that a tropical system is trying to get better organized and could become a tropical depression within the next 36 to 48 hours. And I certainly think that's going to happen. This base, look at this. Look at how well it's developed here. You can really see that convection looks incredible. I'm going to show you the infrared. That's going to show us how high those cloud tops are, the temperature rather, of those cloud tops. And usually we see something colder than negative 70 to negative 80 degrees centigrade. If you remember, Typhoon Haiyan had negative 90 degrees centigrade cloud tops, which is roughly about 125 to 130 degrees below zero Fahrenheit. Very, very, very cold cloud top. Cold cloud tops. That's very hard for me to say. So let's take a look at what we are dealing with here with infrared. So look at that. It releases that convection. Kind of see that upwelling right there. So we are seeing, we're seeing in the black. So we're seeing at least negative 70 degrees centigrade cloud tops. Some of these other areas we're seeing negative 75, closer to where we're seeing that that cold peak right there. So very, very cold cloud tops. I've seen colder cloud tops, if I'm being honest. Does anybody have any comments, questions, or concerns, ladies and gentlemen? Let me come down here. See any comments? Okay. So that's what we're looking at with that system. I do want to. So again, that is the models. That's the latest model showing. We could be dealing with, and possibly just seeing. Just based on this, that could possibly be a major hurricane. That could possibly be Category 3, 120, 25 mile per hour sustained winds. Probably not 125, probably at 115 and 120 miles an hour definitely Category 2, probably 110 to 115 mile per hour hurricane. Just based on the structure, I want to take a look and see what we're dealing with here with the wave, not the wave period, that's not what I meant. The wave height. So just right here, near the center is where they have some of the highest waves, which, I mean, we're talking nearly 30-foot waves. So it's kind of see it pushes out in all directions. It actually looks like it gets pulled around this way, like that, the direction of the wind. Anyway, you can see even along the coastline, it's affecting even along the coastline, up to over 7, up to nearly 5 to 6 foot waves along the coast. You can really see how the waves get bigger here. Really gets more intense. Those waves become much more distinct. It appears to have to stall, probably due to high pressure. Let me actually take a look at that. That does appear probably high. I can't even tell that. Yeah, I can see 1,024 isobars here. Yeah, it gets stuck between the high pressure over Texas and the high pressure northwest or northeast Pacific high. Gets stuck between those, and so it can't really go north until it stalls. So that just kind of shows you that high pressure does in fact have indeed an impact on tropical cyclones in terms of the directions that they do go. Alright, I'm going to take a look, and Central Pacific, probably literally nothing's going to be happening in the Central Pacific. I don't even know why I look here, just to see if anything happens. I mean, they do get a cold front. This trough right here, guess that's a cold front. Again, that even if we saw something this far out, it would be so far out, it would not even matter. It would, things beyond even 200 hours out are more than likely to change. And they usually do. We're taking a look here in the West Pacific here to see just what we're looking at here. Because, I mean, I haven't, yesterday or a few days ago we were seeing, again, we're still trying to see, it's still showing possibly an area of convergence, an area of a cluster of thunderstorms, disorganized thunderstorms trying to develop there. But it does appear that it does fail. Another tropical cyclone does appear to develop out here. Possibly an area of low pressure develops here. Again, this is over 250 hours out, so this most likely will change. But, again, if we see the consistency, then we know that the possibility that they do have a strong, that it is strongly agreeing that a tropical system could develop there. Taking a look here in the Indian Ocean here, just so we have an idea of what we're looking at here. Tropical disturbance, an area of cluster of thunderstorms does appear to look like it's going to develop there off the coast of India. But it seems rather broad, not very tight. But a tropical storm does appear to make landfall here in India, which will, again, we will be closely monitoring. And there appears to be another one right behind it. Look at this, the 19th, almost the 20th of November. Now, regardless of the development of these storms, they're going to bring a lot of heavy rain, which is very, very dangerous, very, very serious. Taking a look at the Indian Ocean abroad, looking at it from, broadly. Really, not really anything. I mean, these systems do develop, but, I mean, they don't really bring any impacts, but maybe something we need to watch in case it's something we do want to watch and possibly track if it becomes anything. I'm going to take a look at the Southwest Pacific because, Australia, you got to watch out for our friends in the Australian region, obviously. I'm not seeing anything of concern. I mean, that seems rather tight, but I don't know. And a few more places I do want to look at, of course, the South Atlantic, because thankfully that was not a tropical storm there in the South Atlantic. It was an upper level low. It was a cold front. And so it was not of any concern. As you can see, it's dead. Pretty interesting there. Does anybody have any comments, questions, or concerns? Thank you very, very much for liking my streams. I really appreciate that. Feel free to like the video, or excuse me, like the stream if you have it. It means a lot to me if you like the streams. Makes me happy. So we're going to continue to be watching these tropical systems. We're going to be making predictions on not only Wanda, maybe we'll make some graphics for Wanda, and obviously we'll also... Oh, wait, yeah. I want to look at the Azores Meteorological Agency. Azores Meteorological Agency. Oh, it's part of Portugal. Okay. Right? I don't need to know about earthquakes, mate. This is probably the Azores right here because they are part of Portugal. Oh, there's not a place for me to... agriculture, aeronautics, fishes... I should have done this before! Weather... Tropical cyclones forecast. Are there any warnings? Gusts of 55. Where are we seeing the gusts now? Okay. This is hard because it's not giving me like any watches, any warnings. Thank you for liking. Appreciate it. Now, this tropical... World forecast. This is hard. All they have is the meter this. This is the weather, the World Meteorological Agency. Struggles from Wanda. This is hard. I can't do this. Because I can't find what I need. Oh, well, they have their own Cuban meteorological agency. Okay, whatever. I can't find it. It's fine. Alright. So we're going to go to weather.us. I'm so thirsty. I don't have any water. Oh well. We're going to check the European model on weather.us. Euro, which is the ECMWF. Maybe there's another Euro model I need to look at. I'm going to look at this one. I think this is just for Europe. Never mind. I can't check. Because the Euro model is just that. Someone's going to have to tell me, give me which exact model I need to use. So again, there's really no activity. I need to go to the Joint Typhoon Warning Center. This is what they're looking at. There's literally nothing going on in the South Pac. The South Pacific. The Indian Ocean, the Bay of Bengal. The Arabian region, excuse me. or the west or the Pacific. E seems to be IFS. That's the only one here. We'll have to do this one. Fucking sucks. I just want the North Atlantic. You zoom in way too much, but there's nothing I can do about that, is there? What the fuck? Shit sucks. Do here. They're just gonna zoom into South America. Whatever, fine. Because we already know there's not gonna be anything happening. There's literally gonna be nothing happening in the. I really want to make sure. I really want to check on the west and the east Pacific, because that's where we're gonna have a majority of our activity. Because I'm curious to see what they're gonna say in terms of the wind speed. So I'm gonna take a look at the all. See, that's that system right there. And that's a big system that we're watching right now. It is tropical depression, or well, not really depression. It's an area of tropical disturbed weather, though. I'm going to zoom in to that area so we have a better idea of what we're looking at here. So there it is. We continue to move into the future here. It's like weakening. It's down to 28 miles per hour now. Almost looks distorted. Doesn't look very good. Well, let me make sure I'm looking at the right thing. I can't even tell the LLCs that it's so distorted. It looks terrible. Yeah, it looks terrible, if I'm being honest. I can't even tell the LLC's that. It isn't good. For the storm, I should say. But that's just mainly the system we're going to closely be monitoring here in the future for any potential tropical cyclone activity here, because that's the system that we could see develop here in the future, and it could produce very strong winds. But right now we do want to monitor not only this system. Oh yeah, my phone's charging, that's right. But we also want to monitor the storm in the North Atlantic. Could predict tropical storm wind gusts, heavy rain, and flooding to the country or to the region of the Azores. So I like to keep it short, sweet, and informative. That's me for today, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, evening, morning, whatever time it is. Thank God the power hasn't gone out. It hasn't even rained yet, which is good. I've been worried. It looks really dark outside. I'm a little bit worried outside about what's going to happen. So I'm going to end this up because I'm afraid it's going to start lightning really crazy. Because because that's often what happens. So it can storm really quickly here. So I want to end this off here before it happens. So that's been today, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys hopefully later this evening to talk more about this tropical disturbance in the Mediterranean and in the East Pacific, and also Tropical Storm Wanda and its effects on the Azores. That's me for today, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys later this evening. Peace out.